Namaskar, Jai Shri Krishna. Enlightening, text 20, text 21, text 22 and text 23 of chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dvaraka, first translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 20. Nata nartaka gandharvaha sutama gadha vandinaha gayanti chottama shloka charitan yada bhutani cha. Expert dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists and learned speakers all gave their respective contributions, being inspired by the superhuman pastimes of the Lord. Thus they proceeded on and on. It appears that 5,000 years ago the society also needed the services of the dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, public speakers, etc. Dancers, singers and dramatic artists mostly hailed from the Shudra community, whereas the learned historians, genealogists and public speakers hailed from the Brahman community. All of them belonged to a particular caste and they became so trained in their respective families. Such dramatists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists and public speakers would dwell on the subject of the Lord's superhuman activities in different ages and millenniums and not on ordinary events, nor were they in chronological order. All the Puranas are historical facts described only in relation with the Supreme Lord in different ages and times as well as on different planets also. Therefore, we do not find any chronological order. The modern historians, therefore, cannot catch up the link and thus they unauthoritatively remark that the Puranas are all imaginary stories only. Even 100 years ago in India, all dramatic performances were centered around the superhuman activities of the Supreme Lord. The common people would be very entertained by the performances of dramas and yatra parties played wonderfully on the superhuman activities of the Lord, and thus even the illiterate agriculturist would be a participant in the knowledge of Vedic literature despite a considerable lack of academic qualifications. Therefore, expert players in drama, dancers, singers, speakers, etc. are required for the spiritual enlightenment of the common man. The genealogists would give account completely of the descendants of a particular family. Even at the present moment, the guides in the pilgrimage sites of India submit a complete account of genealogical tables before a newcomer. This wonderful act sometimes attracts more customers to receive such important information. Text 21. Bhagvam stotra bandhunam paurana manuvartinam yatha vidyuk sangamya sarvesham manamadadhe. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor to each and every one of the friends, relatives, citizens and all others who came to receive and welcome him. The Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is neither impersonal nor an inert object, unable to reciprocate the feelings of his devotees. Here the word yatha vidhi or just as it behooves is significant. He reciprocates just as it behooves with his different types of admirers and devotees. Of course, the pure devotees are of one type only because they have no other object for service but the Lord, and therefore the Lord also reciprocates with such pure devotees just as it behooves, namely he is always attentive to all the matters of his pure devotees. There are others who designate him as impersonal, and so the Lord also does not take any personal interest. He satisfies everyone in terms of one's development of spiritual consciousness, and a sample of such reciprocation is exhibited here with his different welcomers. Text 22. Praha vabhivada nashaleshakara sparsha smite kshanaiha ashvasya chashava pakebhyo varaisha chabhi mataira vibhuha. The Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by his bowing head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank. To receive the Lord Shri Krishna, there were all grades of population, beginning from Vasudevaya, Ugrasen and Garga Muni, the father, grandfather and teacher, down to the prostitutes and chatas who were accustomed to eat dogs. And every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. As pure living entities, all are the separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and thus no one is alien by his eternal relation. Such pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature, but the Lord is equally affectionate to all his parts and parcels, despite material gradation. He descends only to recall these materialistic living beings back to his kingdom, and intelligent persons take advantage of this facility offered by the personality of Godhead to all living beings. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. Text 23. Swayam cha guru bhira vipraiha sada raiha stha virairapi ashir bhira yujjamano anyairvan dibhi shacha vishatpuram. Then the Lord personally entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid brahmanas with their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praised the glories of the Lord. The brahmanas in society were never habitual to banking money for future retired life. When they were old invalids, they used to approach the assembly of the kings, and simply by praising the glorious deeds performed by the kings along with their wives, they would be provided with all necessities of life. Such brahmanas were not, so to speak, flatterers of the kings, but the kings were actually glorified by their actions, and they were sincerely still more encouraged in pious acts by such brahmanas in a dignified way. Lord Shri Krishna is worthy of all glories, and the praying brahmanas and others were glorified themselves by chanting the glories of the Lord. Hare Krishna.